Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. In the previous video, I mentioned that the 5E or 7E instructional model is not designed for language teaching specifically, so we need to make the necessary adaptations or modifications if we want to implement it to a language classroom. This model has not been designed specifically for language teaching. Hence, we need to implement it in our setting. In this video, I will explain how this model works in a language classroom. Well, this is my interpretation, of course. Let's go step by step. Now, remember the first E? Engage. In order to engage students, we can use pre-activities or warm-up activities. Our aim is to grab the learner's attention and get them into the mood, set the necessary atmosphere for learning. Another aim is to help them recall what they already know about the topic. Remember schemata, so we want to activate their schemata so that they can recall their previous knowledge and remember their previous experiences. We also aim to prepare the students or the learners linguistically, cognitively, and mentally or emotionally for the main learning. So this is more like the scaffolding, readiness to learn, remember? And then comes the next E, which is explore. In order to help students explore, we can use while activities. Learners have the opportunity to get directly involved with phenomena and materials. The teacher acts as a facilitator, providing materials and guiding the students' focus by giving them reasons to perform a language task, such as, for example, read and choose the best title, listen and decide where the conversation takes place, that kind of thing. Then comes the next E, explain/elicit. Please do not let the title mislead you. This explanation does not come from the teacher, it comes from the students by the help of the teacher. That's why we have elicitation embedded there. At this stage, learners begin to put the abstract experience into a concrete form. They explain, or teacher elicits by asking questions, first the use, function and meaning, and then usage, form, notion of a certain language focus. This is done as a part of while activities using the text and or context by the guided discovery technique. Now, usually, free discovery technique is used for advanced level students. Guided discovery is better with beginners, A1, A2 level students, B1, B2 level, intermediate level students. Students in the stage induce the meaning and rules from exposure to the language in use, and this is authentic use. They discover rules and how they are applied. I mean, the rules are applied by looking at specific examples within the given context. The teacher asks questions to elicit this information. If the teacher feels that learners have difficulty in understanding or identifying, they may contribute to the learning process by asking further questions, leading them to the right answer. So teachers here function as a guide As they show the right direction, they offer counseling. They also offer cognitive support. They make suggestions, they give advice, they challenge creativity, and encourage independent thinking. The next step is elaborate. And remember, I have already mentioned this, although evaluation is seen as the last step, it is not the last, but I will talk about it in detail in a moment. Learners expand or elaborate on the concepts they have learned, they have started to learn, let me say, make connections to other related concepts, and apply their understandings to the world around them. This can be done by the help of post activities. Now, let's talk about the evaluation step. Although it looks like the last step in this model, it is in fact an ongoing process that starts the second the lesson begins. This ongoing diagnostic process allows the teacher to determine if the learner has attained understanding of concepts and knowledge. Observation is a big part of this process. Evaluation and assessment can occur at all points along the continuum of the instructional process. The learner is also encouraged to evaluate, assess themselves. So self-assessment is also a very important concept in this model. I have mentioned post activities to help the learners expand or elaborate whatever they have learned. And don't forget that any post activity can become the pre activity of a coming task. The transitions are smooth. The activities, the tasks are always in context and they are connected. Nothing is given in isolation. This is real life, authentic situation, right? Now, let me just give some examples about these steps. Remember, we start with engage. Engage for warming up, getting the students involved actively in the learning process. So sometimes activities or tasks that you use at this stage can be longer. Don't worry about that because remember what I said? The deeper the foundation is, the better, the stronger the learning will be. So dig deeper. Okay? If you see that students are enjoying themselves with the task or the activity, keep going. Don't forget, we are not worried about covering a material. We're worried about helping our students learn. So after this pre-activity thing, the students will be ready for the while activities, exploring. How can they explore? They need to be in language, the context itself. Okay? But we need to give them a reason to do that. I mean, we cannot just say, read. They don't know why. What are they going to do when they read it? That's why we say, for example, read and find 5 new words in the text. Okay, so yes, they are exploring, but with our guidance. Okay, when they are done, when they do all kinds of wild activities dealing with the text or context, now we can lead them to explain, elicit. Again, we are going to use the context. Okay? So the student is not lost. It's not in isolation. They can always refer to the text. And you are there. You can help them find the necessary answer in the context. Okay? when they come up with the explanation or with your help, when you elicit the explanation from them, now you can help them expand their knowledge. Remember, we said post activities for that. So if they have done, for example, a listening activity as the pre-activity and a reading activity as the while activity, why shouldn't we give a speaking activity or a writing activity or maybe another listening or reading activity as a post activity? Because we need to encourage them to um, use this knowledge that they have just learned, well, started to learn, let me say, in a related context. So the post activity should also be related. Okay? And remember, evaluation or assessment here is an ongoing process. It's not done as the last step of the lesson. So the moment you walk into the classroom, you start observing, getting feedback from your students. Look at their faces. If they look confused, that means they may not be brave enough to ask you a question, but you can get the clue and give them further assistance. Well, that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Wish you all the best. Bye.